Welcome to today's collective reading. This is TrinityGaiaOracle. I do have a new mic and it seems to be able to pick up on volume much easier. However, I was called to do this reading after most of my neighbors had gone to bed. So I'm going to try to be quiet for them. Hopefully this new mic will compensate for that difference for you guys. So what was coming through very clearly is that there has been somewhat of an epiphany, a breakthrough within you, in that now you get to be in a space where you get to pause, to heal, to integrate, to tie everything together, to acknowledge all the ways in which you have learned so much and overcome so much and freed yourself from so many things. And that you get to be in a space of peace now, because it is tying together. It's as though you were telling 5 or 10 different stories, simultaneously interacting with all of them, and at times you had to be a little more actively, assertively present for them. And now they're all coming full circle, and the point of why you were telling all 5 or 10 of these stories is very apparent. It's clear. In this process of being broken and reformed and broken again and transformed and made anew, not less than, but stronger, better, wiser, upgrading you. So as you went through all these processes, it was challenging to continue to choose the most positive way to view and relate to all of it, while not compromising on healing from what had happened. Because sometimes you have to acknowledge that you're quite angry about it, because it was not fair or just. And all of that rage, I'm going to say rage because it was definitely like setting fire to the rain. Not necessarily that entire song, but that concept with the symbolism of water and fire, intuition, emotion, connection, love. Fire transforms, alchemizes, changes one thing into another thing. It's why it's the symbol of your will, your choice. And with that, there is the Two of Cups. No, the Lover's card, correction. So this is somewhat of a partnership within you, the balance of the light and the dark. There's a choice. The Lover's card was known as the choice first, before it became the Lover's card. So within you, this anger at this injustice, this rage, it burned so hot that you realized that feeding it, as it wasn't going anywhere. And that calmed that storm, but it heightened your focus to creating what you want, to choosing to heal, to purify these aspects, these energies, these patterns of dynamics in your life that were repeating over and over and over. By focusing there, the goal is to attain happiness, joy, peace, things that we all desire and want. And your path is obviously one that required you to have incredible strength, to not just fall in line, to decide that even though everybody else maybe was bending the knee to this, what did you have to lose in standing up for yourself? Because you would lose it either way. You might as well stand up for yourself. Might as well own your truth. Dare to speak the reality into existence that you desire to live. So the rage, it cooled, it calmed. You get to that certain point, just like when you're creating an antidote. Like when your body is fighting a virus. Like you got the flu or something. Back in the older days when we didn't have a lot of the nice things that we have medically to help our body, to help us cope, one of the primary things that they would do would be to give your body all the heat it could need, that it would amp up the immune system. It would aid it. Yes, it could be very dangerous. Yes, but it did work. And when you had nothing to lose and that was the only option, it was worth it because nothing else that they had available would work. So it was risky, but it had a chance to succeed where everything else just led to it not going well. While you were fighting this battle to overcome, to continue to choose love, to choose your happiness, to choose being free of this trickster energy in your life that continually came back around until you learned. And you have learned. That is the breakthrough here. You have seen the way through, the way out, the wisdom that you can own honestly and genuinely with all of you and be truly free of this dynamic, truly free of this constant repetitive pain coming to you in different people, in different situations, over and over in your life. This has allowed you to find peace in being someone that is aware of both worlds, aware of how grounded you are and how incredibly connected you are to everything, and that both are you. But you, in both worlds, travel differently, you move different, you feel different, and they're both necessary. And you have found that balance. You have owned that sovereignty of being connected to all that is, of being rooted in this reality, and yet you're connected to all of you. You are open and receptive to guidance. You are in tune with all of your subconscious, all of your shadow side. You are listening and you are seeing through the illusion that this trickster energy wants to portray. This trickster energy desired for you to hate. And if you hated, then, well, you hadn't learned. While you were healing and learning and breaking free of this, yes, you get angry. Yes, you would desire to defend yourself. Yes, you would possibly at times feel very intensely and possibly say mean, hurtful things. Not necessarily to this individual, but in private. You would need to express your truth in order to change it. And that is part of being human. And you did that. As though they have a tradition, and I'm not really sure exactly where. I think it might be Japan or China. It might be Japan. But when they have like a porcelain dish or a plate or a cup and it breaks, what they do is they somehow glue it back together, and then they put like gold or silver, literal gold or silver powder over that glue around the outside edges. Incredibly beautiful and worth even more than it was before it broke, before it had the opportunity to be made anew. So there's new possibilities. And that glue is the wisdom in your emotions, knowing that your emotions are guidance from your inner being. And your guides. And we have the wolf here, and we also have the fox and the bear present for power animals. We have a lot of butterflies in colors of blue and orange and black and white. And water is pretty present, very prevalent. And the concept of an elixir and willing this into being. Archangels, guardian angels, guardian Oh, interesting. Guides and guardian angels. Ooh. They want you to know that you are loved. They want you to feel love. And you're on that precipice of embracing that feeling about yourself with like this giddy inner child, like, I get to do this now. Yay! I get to experience this now. I am beginning to get pretty excited about this. And they want you to know that you can be proud of yourself and how you conducted yourself in this very complex and challenging awakening, healing. Because in order to have had this breakthrough, you woke to a new experience of yourself in this reality. You became aware of your separation from the matrix, from the illusion of all of it, and you were able to wake up to your authentic experience of yourself in a new way, more poignant, it's like the colors are brighter, the flavors are stronger, the sensations, like the coolness of the pillow when you first lay your head down at night, the softness of your favorite socks, the feel of petting your animal, your pet, your cat or your dog, or I'm getting horse very strongly, maybe riding, horseback riding or grooming, the smell of being around earth, fresh air, trees, feeling that, all of it heightened. A good metaphor for this would be when you go out to a really fancy restaurant and you know you're going to have a flavor experience and a texture experience that is likely going to be something that'll pull you into the moment completely just in enjoying it and the company that you have with you. You will, like when you eat like that, you find that you don't need to eat much to feel full. Your brain is like, there is so much good stuff in here. I am sending all of this information to your stomach and we're working on breaking it all down. I need some time. I'm not used to you having this much variety in your diet. And I'm excited to get all these trace nutrients for you. Because your brain tells your stomach what enzymes to produce. And that is definitely a metaphor in two ways. You're going to find that you're going to get more for less. To give energy, say like to work out, to go for a walk, you'll get more energy back. You'll get stronger and you'll be able to walk longer. You have to give energy to get energy in that way. And you'll be getting a much more efficient return across the board as a result of being able to refocus your energy from overcoming this lesson, from overcoming this repetitive pattern to creating your peace and your happiness and choosing where you give your focus. There may be some clearing out for a bit, a little bit of, I guess that there's a little bit of a thread still tying me down here, like a fiber, not the full tie of one of the Eight of Swords, in the concept that instead of 8 swords, it would be 8 ropes tying you down. And you've removed them, but there's, still some remnants, some fibers left. And you might find them and just brush them off. Yeah, get that dirt off your shoulder. Yeah, that kind of a deal. But it's foundational. The confusion will clear as you go through this. And know that as you're doing this, like you're here because you have been already raising your vibration. focusing on good thoughts, good feelings, intentions, giving to yourself, setting firm boundaries and not letting them be crossed, protecting that. You're out of reach of this trickster energy. It's why the rage cooled. I say rage because it was love, like divine wrath kind of a thing. Like you love so strongly and this hurt so much. And you couldn't do anything about it for so long. That as you raised your energy vibration, as you chose to focus, the rage turned from something that was dark into something that was liberating instead of entrapping. This period of time here it's like you've arrived at this space a little prematurely than was foreseen. That's because you're co-creating. So you get to take this time and give to yourself, nurture your home, your body, your temple, your environment. You get to fall in love with that experience of giving to yourself again, so that your cup is so full that you need like a hot spring to hold all that is within you. And I don't know about you, but jacuzzi, hot tub, hot spring sounds amazing and very healing. Like the pain and the exhaustion and just all of that just kind of eases out of your being. So that this space within you, when it overflows, because it will. Because it will. You're going to be able to give so much to others of that very thing by sharing your story. Whether this is one individual or many, one person can impact so many people. You may not perceive the domino effect, the ripple out. But your wisdom, your path, your journey, your healing experience, you went through that and you chose to overcome, and that is a light that needs, like this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, at that point, when you're ready to come out of that hot spring, you're not gonna just have this awareness and others are gonna, there's something a little different about you. You're gonna be empowered and nurtured to be able to begin to share that light in a way that others can receive it, in a way that invites love and light and healing into their life, for them to choose to empower, however brief the interaction or in depth it may be. Because all of you is behind us. All of you. Past, present, future, higher self, many different timeline versions of you. They're all here. They're all present. They're all helping to guide this, all supporting this. And you're aware of that because you've helped guide, support, and nurture them as well in their timeline. And that's like, did you turn left or right at this light? Did you decide to go straight? Did you decide to turn back around? Maybe park, get out, sit on the bench next to the light and just kind of relax a little bit. So many different timelines branched off of different pivotal moments, and you've been working with all of you. And you're more aware of that because all of their stories are coming to, this is why you've been interacting with this experience in this way, and it's all making sense. Your solar plexus and sacral chakra, your water and your fire. The sacral is water. The solar is fire. You have set fire to the rain. You have willed your creative energy to only be spoken over by you. You have reclaimed this. And as you dust these little fibers off of your shoulder, you'll have like little insights to things from your past that you can let go. They can make sense, and you can let that be in the past so you could firmly be in your now. And a lot of these things, they're so personal, they're so private, especially because they made so little sense and you were so confused. Like you were only given half of the picture, and you had to try to do what you did with half of the information, and you decided to just take control and not wait for the input or wait for someone else to act or wait. The key word being wait. If you're in a state of waiting, that's what you're manifesting, is more waiting. You took action to take care of yourself. And these revelations of how things are suddenly going to start making sense about why things happened, how they did. Some of this is meant to be personal. It's yours. It's not meant to be spoken of. Because you don't need someone else to validate that experience is truth to you. You don't need that. You know it's true. And it's really none of their business unless you decide to share. And that is your prerogative. So at this point in the reading, I will be transitioning into an extended or a part 2, which will be, as you could see, posted right after this. It'll be transitioning into a deeper look into the Two of Cups and the Lover's card that came out pretty early in the reading. So do check that out if that's something that resonates for you. And once again, the divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.